On Saturday, Alabama's championship hopes crumbled in Norman, Oklahoma, in a stunning 24-3 loss to the Sooners. A team with playoff aspirations faltered against a struggling Oklahoma squad that had managed just one other SEC win all season. For Alabama, it marked the first time since 2010 that the Crimson Tide ended a regular season with 3 losses, a bitter pill for first-year head coach Kalen DeBoer to swallow. The Tide's offense was lifeless from the start. A lack of a consistent running game combined with crucial mistakes doomed Alabama early. Quarterback Jalen Milroe turned in the worst performance of his career, throwing 2 costly interceptions in the second half. The first came on Alabama's opening drive of the third quarter, setting up an Oklahoma touchdown that widened the Sooners' lead to 17-3. Moments later, Milroe's second pick, a pass intercepted by Kip Lewis and returned for a touchdown, sealed the game. Milroe's half-hearted attempt to stop Lewis at the 16-yard line summed up Alabama's uninspired effort. Dropped passes from key receivers Ryan Williams and C.J. Dippre stifled any momentum Alabama tried to build. Even Williams' spectacular would-be touchdown catch in the fourth quarter was negated by a questionable penalty call, leaving DeBoer visibly frustrated on the sidelines. But by then, the game, and Alabama's season, was already slipping away. The Crimson Tide's offensive line struggled against Oklahoma's defensive front, looking uncharacteristically out of sync for late November. Alabama's running game was non-existent, leaving the team unable to establish rhythm or control the pace. The Sooners, meanwhile, delivered their best defensive performance of the season. Entering the game, Oklahoma allowed just 319 yards and 21.9 points per contest, which improved after holding Alabama to 3 points and 211 total yards. Oklahoma's victory was a bright spot in an otherwise forgettable season. Reaching bowl eligibility with this win gives the Sooners a rare highlight to build on during the offseason. The defense, often left in precarious positions by its inconsistent offense, rose to the occasion against a heavily favored opponent. Alabama's season has been one of missed opportunities and uncharacteristic struggles. Losses to Vanderbilt and Tennessee earlier in the year had already left the Tide with no margin for error. Since falling to the Volunteers, every game had been a de facto playoff game, and Alabama responded with 3 straight wins to stay alive. But against Oklahoma, the flaws that had plagued the team all year came back with a vengeance. DeBoer's frustration was palpable as the game spiraled out of control. His anger wasn't just about a penalty or a dropped pass. It reflected the realization that Alabama's season, once full of promise, was over. A team that began the year with aspirations of an SEC championship and a playoff berth will now spend December watching from the sidelines. Credit is due to Oklahoma for rising to the occasion and playing with grit. The Sooners' defensive performance was a masterclass in discipline and execution, and they capitalized on every mistake Alabama made. For the Crimson Tide, however, there are no silver linings. A program synonymous with excellence and dominance has endured a humbling season, culminating in a loss that underscores how far it has fallen short of its goals.